Belinda Mello is next with the fallout from a PC MPP who's been removed from caucus. And Colin, you spoke with her this afternoon.
That's right. Belinda Karahalios says she was just doing her job as an MPP and doing right by her constituents when she voted against her own government on a bill that she calls undemocratic. 24 hours after Belinda Karahalios was ejected from the Progressive Conservative Party by Premier Doug Ford, the Cambridge MPP is breaking her silence.
I'm disappointed because this was a moral issue for me. I believe that democracy is extremely important.
Karahalios voted against Bill 195 yesterday, a new legislation which critics say is a pandemic power grab by the Ford government. It allows the Premier and the Cabinet to keep extending emergency orders, including limits on social gatherings and restrictions on businesses, without the approval of the Ontario Legislature, which Karahalios calls undemocratic.
This is all part of Ontario history, and I did not want my name attached to something like that.
But Premier Ford says this legislation is actually designed to ensure that the province is prepared for the second wave of COVID-19.
There's just no excuses. You need to vote on an important piece of legislation like this.
The Premier also says when he visited Karahalios' riding last week, she never mentioned her discomfort.
I was with her for 2 days, last week. Never said a word to me. Didn't mention anything to me.
When he came to Cambridge twice, I did say, hey, can you call me? It's quite urgent. And he didn't call after he's saying that he would.
Karahalios claims there are others who disagree with the legislation, but says they were pressured by the Premier's office to vote with Ford.
There were a number of my colleagues who were uncomfortable with this bill. Ones in cabinet, they may not have voiced that opinion. And it's that fear, right? That fear that you're going to get kicked out. And that's not right.
A fear that was ultimately realized by Karahalios herself, Ontario's newest independent MPP. And the government says Karahalios might be able to make it back to the government benches if all of the Progressive Conservative MPPs agree to it. Karahalios says that she could be okay with that idea as long as there are changes at the highest levels of this government. She wouldn't specify exactly what changes she's looking for.
Why wasn't she allowed to vote her conscience on this? And is this a signal to anyone listening that if you disagree with Doug Ford, you have no place in the Progressive Conservative Party?
Listen, we have caucus members. We all disagree. And to be very frank, I disagree with the caucus. Sometimes I disagree with the cabinet. But at the end of the day, when the cabinet and caucus make a decision, I go with it. Because we're all part of a team. And ironically, I was with Belinda, not a word. And I like Belinda, and I'm sure you ask her, we've never had bad words. We get along. I was with her for 2 days, going to her customers, and yes, I believe all my MPPs are all-stars. I truly believe that. But again, this is about the legislation protecting the people of this province. It is absolutely critical. It was transparent. We're here every day, and I'm not going to waver when it comes to protecting the health and the safety of the people of Ontario. We have to move forward. Just imagine if we had to call back the legislature and wait for 3 weeks to make a decision. It just moves too quick. So, but I wish her all the best. I really do. It's not an easy decision.
Premier, are you aware that Belinda Karahalios wasn't the only Conservative in your ranks, either sitting at Queen's Park or at your cabinet table or as a party member, who is concerned about Bill 195 and concerned about the government's overall approach to COVID-19? Are you worried that there is this dissension in the ranks and that Ms. Karahalios may just be the tip of the iceberg?
Not at all. Anyone can call me, and that's the first I've heard about it. But if they want to call me and talk to me about it, absolutely. I have no problem with that.
It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's okay if you're not okay. It's not gonna end this way. Today is the day to change. It's the time, it's the place.